Shabbat Shalom. This Shabbat is Ki Tissa, and it comes as a kind of a narrative break. We've been reading for weeks already about the building of the tabernacle with all of its particulars, and then there's suddenly an interruption with the story that will be the story of the golden calf. But before the story of the golden calf, we're told that the people of Israel should keep Shabbat. Seems sort of out of place. And there's this little word, but. It's actually a two-letter word in Hebrew. Aleph, final chaf. Ach. However, despite the fact you've been building the tabernacle, you should stop on Shabbat. That's the way the rabbis read it. Ach et Shabbatai tishmoru. However, but you will keep my Shabbatot. The rabbis learn so much from those two little letters. The word ach, however, but, is the word upon which the rabbis place almost all the laws of Shabbat. You know, the laws, the many, many laws of Shabbat, which we learn are actually from the Torah, they're kind of rabbinically created through those two little letters for the word ach. How could that be? Well, the rabbis say the purpose of that word, that juxtaposing word, is to say the tabernacle, the holiest place in the universe, is so critical that we have to teach you about every detail. But its holiness is superseded by the Shabbat. We ceased to build it on Shabbat. So any labors that were necessary to construct the tabernacle, those become the malachot, which are prohibited on Shabbat. Those are the things that had to do with planting and sowing and reaping the grains in order to make showbread, having to do with making curtains, having to do with smelting metals, having to do with tanning hides. All of those activities which were necessary for the building of the tabernacle, those become the definition of what is prohibited on Shabbat. Now, like a lot of people, you might say, I don't quite buy that that's what the Torah meant by those two little letters, ach. However, there's a profound idea here, and that is that each Shabbat we build in time a tabernacle whose holiness is equivalent to and perhaps even can supersede the holiness of the tabernacle itself and the Beit HaMikdash, the temple. Each Shabbat, when we pause in our labor, in our malacha, we also can become, as it were, Kohanim, priests, in our own tabernacle in time. That's the gift that the Shabbat gives us each week, and it's how the rabbis, through their very precise reading of the biblical text, saw not only laws, but enduring meaning in the Shabbat. Hope to see you in Shul.